Did you know that Japan has more centenarians per capita than anywhere else in the world, with more than 90,000 people living past the age of 100? While many people spend thousands on gyms and trendy fitness programs, Japanese seniors in their 70s and 80s continue to live longer and healthier lives than much of the world's population. But here is something that truly surprised researchers at Harvard Medical School when they studied these super seniors for 5 consecutive years. It wasn't just diet. It wasn't only genetics. The secret was hidden in plain sight in 6 simple movements that they practice every day. And here's the interesting detail: they are not traditional exercises or structured workouts like the ones we are used to seeing. They are movements so basic that, at first, many Western doctors considered them insignificant. Until brain scans began to reveal something extraordinary. Japanese seniors who practiced these movements daily showed about 40% less cognitive decline compared to seniors in the West. Their joints remained flexible for much longer, often for decades. Their balance systems function like those of people up to 20 years younger. Researchers at Stanford University even described this habit as one of the most neglected aspects of longevity in modern medicine. And now you will discover exactly what these 6 movements are, starting with the simplest and gradually progressing to the most powerful. But I need to warn you about the first movement. It was associated with an average increase of 7 years in life expectancy in a study that analyzed more than 15,000 Japanese seniors. Even so, about 90% of people in the West have never heard of it. It takes only 2 minutes to do, requires no equipment, and according to neuroscientists, it activates more areas of the brain at the same time than any other physical activity they have analyzed. Before we begin, write in the comments your age and where you are watching from. We are reading and responding to all comments, so leave yours right below. Now, without further delay, let's start with number 6. And don't be fooled by its position on the list, because this is the foundation on which many Japanese seniors build the start of their day. Number 6. The art of walking slowly. In Japan, this habit is known as Sampo. Let's start with something that may seem too simple to make a difference. Even so, Japanese seniors treat this movement almost like a daily medicine. Sampo is not just walking. It is an intentional, mindful movement performed at about half the normal walking speed. Many seniors in Japan practice this for 20 to 30 minutes every morning, often before breakfast. The main difference between Sampo and regular brisk walking lies in the intentional slowness combined with a specific breathing pattern. The rhythm works as follows: you inhale for 2 steps, hold your breath for 2 steps, and then exhale over 4 steps. This pattern creates a cadence that helps synchronize the cardiovascular system with the nervous system, something a fast walk usually cannot provide. A study conducted in 2019 by Kyoto University followed about 3,000 people over the age of 60 for 10 years. The results showed that those who practiced Sampo daily had 62% less arterial stiffness compared to the group that did not adopt the habit. In addition, there was an average reduction of 12 points in systolic blood pressure and 8 points in diastolic pressure, indicating a significant improvement in cardiovascular health. But there is another even more interesting aspect. The slower walking pace allows the foot to make full contact with the ground, activating all 33 joints in each foot. This full contact sends proprioceptive signals to the brain, improving balance and the body's awareness in space. In Western seniors who began practicing Sampo for just 8 weeks, the average time they could remain balanced on one leg increased by about 45 seconds, a considerable gain for body stability. To practice Sampo correctly, the secret lies in how the foot touches the ground. Start by placing the heel on the ground, then allow your body weight to move through the arch of the foot and finish the movement by gently pushing off with your toes. Your gaze should remain directed about 2 meters ahead, avoiding looking down at your feet. Your arms should swing naturally and lightly, with relaxed hands and slightly curved fingers. The breathing pattern is also essential and may require a bit of practice at first. Counting your steps while walking helps maintain the proper rhythm. Over time, this movement becomes automatic and turns a simple walk into a powerful exercise for both the body and the brain. Practicing in the morning usually brings even better results because cortisol levels are naturally higher during this time of day, making the calming effects of the movement more noticeable. Avoid doing Sampo on treadmills, since the moving surface alters the natural mechanics of the foot. Whenever possible, walk on varied terrain, as different surfaces activate different stabilizing muscles. Researchers from the University of Tokyo observed that seniors who practice Sampo on natural surfaces, such as grass or dirt trails, showed 20% greater joint mobility than those who walked only on concrete sidewalks. If you are starting now, begin with 10 minutes a day and gradually increase until you reach about 30 minutes over the course of a few weeks. With consistency and patience, this simple habit can become one of the most effective practices for preserving mobility, balance, and health over the years. Now we move on to a practice that helps rebuild the body from the ground up. Number 5, a daily stretching routine called Radio Taiso. Every morning at 6:30 a.m., a gentle piano melody begins to play on Japan's public broadcast system. This is the signal for the start of Radio Taiso, an exercise routine broadcast on the radio that millions of Japanese people have practiced daily since 1928. But don't be misled by the word exercise. This is very different from the common exercise routines seen in the West. It consists of a fluid sequence of 13 specific stretching movements performed in exactly 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Each movement works several muscle groups at the same time, keeping the body in constant motion. There are no prolonged static positions or excessive effort. It is simply a continuous flow of gentle movements that lubricate the joints and maintain flexibility throughout the body. Researchers from Osaka Medical College followed 8,000 participants over the age of 60 who practiced Radio Taiso daily and compared them with people who did not practice it. Those who maintained the habit experienced 40% fewer falls, 55% less chronic back pain, and retained almost their full range of motion in the shoulders and hips even after the age of 80. The science behind these results is impressive. These dynamic stretches increase the production of synovial fluid in the joints by up to 30%. This fluid works like a natural oil for the body's joints. Without regular movement, it becomes thicker and decreases, which leads to stiffness and the aches often associated with aging. The sequence begins with gentle arm raises that open the chest and improve breathing capacity. You raise both arms above your head while inhaling and then slowly lower them while exhaling. Next come arm rotations, which help mobilize the shoulder joints. Then come gentle torso twisting movements that maintain spinal flexibility. Soon after, side bends stretch the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Leg movements include a gentle march in place followed by shallow squats that help keep the knees and hips mobile. The entire sequence maintains a steady rhythm that raises the heart rate just enough to improve circulation without causing excessive strain. To get the maximum benefit, the time when you practice makes a big difference. Many Japanese seniors perform this routine right after waking up, often before eating or drinking anything. This takes advantage of the natural peaks of growth hormone that occur during sleep. During this phase, muscles and connective tissues are more receptive to stretching. The movement should feel like you are moving through warm honey, smooth and controlled, never forcing or making sudden motions. If you cannot complete the entire sequence, focus on the arm raises and the gentle torso twists, as these movements provide a large portion of the benefits with the least effort. Many Japanese companies still practice Radio Taiso in groups before the workday begins, and productivity studies show that employees who maintain this habit have 30% fewer sick days than those who work at companies that do not adopt this practice. Now let's explore a movement that protects the brain just as much as it protects the body. Before we continue, if you are enjoying the video so far, leave a like so more people can find this information and consider subscribing to the channel. New content with health tips for older adults is published regularly, and you won't want to miss the upcoming ones. Number 4, the deep squat rest, known as Shinkazuwari. If you walk through parks or gardens in Japan, you will see many elderly people comfortably resting in a deep squat position, with their heels on the ground, chatting or taking care of plants. They can remain in this position for 10, 20, or even 30 minutes without discomfort. Meanwhile, many people in the West over the age of 60 cannot hold this position for even 10 seconds. And this does not happen only because of flexibility. The deep squat is a natural human position that has been lost in cultures where we spend most of our time sitting in chairs. Japanese seniors maintain this ability throughout life because they practice this position daily, usually accumulating between 20 and 30 minutes per day spread throughout different moments of their routine. An innovative study conducted by the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology followed 5,000 seniors for 12 years. The results were impressive. Those who could maintain a deep squat for at least 2 minutes had a 70% lower risk of needing assisted care in the future. The hip mobility of these participants remained sufficient to perform all daily activities, allowing them to maintain their independence on average 9 years longer than those who could not perform this movement. Biomechanics explains why this movement is so important. The deep squat position fully opens the hip joint, preventing the shortening of the joint capsule that causes many elderly people to start walking with short, shuffling steps. This movement also maintains ankle flexibility, which is essential for balance. In addition, it strengthens the pelvic floor muscles responsible for bladder control. Perhaps the most important benefit is its effect on the spine. The deep squat helps decompress the spine, allowing nutrient-rich fluid to circulate between the spinal discs. Researchers at Harvard found that cultures where deep squatting is still common have 80% fewer hip replacement surgeries and 60% less chronic lower back pain. To develop this ability, start simply. Try performing the squat with your back supported against a wall for greater safety. Keep your feet shoulder-width apart with your toes slightly pointed outward. Lower yourself slowly, allowing your knees to follow the direction of your feet. If at first you cannot keep your heels fully on the ground, place a rolled towel under them for support. Start by holding the position for 30 seconds and gradually increase the time as your mobility improves. The most important thing is frequency, not duration. 5 1-minute squats throughout the day bring more benefits than trying to hold a single 5-minute squat. Many Japanese seniors naturally use this position during the day. They squat while waiting for the bus, tending the garden, or even watching television. The movement is so integrated into their routine that it requires no extra time or special effort. Whenever possible, use this position in a functional way. Organize low shelves while squatting. Play with your grandchildren in this position. Rest in a squat instead of bending over to tie your shoes. Every time you use this position in daily life, you reinforce the movement pattern and preserve the mobility that helps maintain your independence. Now let's move on to the next practice, which helps reprogram the nervous system for decades of stability and balance. Number 3, standing on one leg, known as ashidachi. This may seem strange at first, but Japanese doctors prescribe this exercise the same way Western doctors prescribe medication. Patients over the age of 60 are advised to stand on one leg for 1 minute, twice a day, as a preventive measure. This habit is so valued that it is included in the Japanese healthcare system because the scientific evidence supporting its benefits is extremely strong. A study on aging from Fukuoka University followed 12,000 participants for 15 years. The results were impressive. Those who practiced standing on one leg daily had 68% fewer hip fractures and 75% fewer falls requiring hospitalization. Brain scans also showed something very interesting. These individuals developed more gray matter in the motor cortex and the cerebellum, areas essential for coordination and balance. When you stand on just one leg, your body makes thousands of micro-adjustments per minute to maintain balance. These adjustments strengthen not only the muscles but the entire neuromuscular system. Proprioceptors, which are sensors responsible for informing the brain about the body's position in space, become much more active. The vestibular system, located in the inner ear and responsible for balance, also improves its response. At the same time, visual processing becomes faster because the brain needs to integrate information from several systems simultaneously. The basic protocol to begin is simple. Stand near a wall or a sturdy chair for greater safety. Lift one foot just a few centimeters off the ground. Keep your gaze fixed on a point about 3 meters in front of you. Breathe normally and try to maintain the position for 30 seconds. Then switch legs and repeat. As you progress, you can close your eyes to increase the challenge. This removes the visual reference, forcing the body's other balance systems to work harder. Many Japanese seniors go even further and perform this exercise while brushing their teeth, turning a daily routine into 2 minutes of automatic training. This habit creates a natural cycle that ensures consistency over time. More advanced practitioners add small movements while maintaining balance. They may slowly turn their head from left to right, raise their arms above their head, or make small circles with the foot that is lifted. Each variation challenges different aspects of balance and coordination. The secret is gradual progression. When 30 seconds becomes easy, increase it to 45 seconds. When you can maintain balance with your eyes closed, try standing on a folded towel to create an unstable surface. People over the age of 60 who can maintain balance for 30 seconds have mortality rates similar to those of people 10 years younger. Now get ready to learn about a movement that seems almost magical because of its effects. Number 2. Transitions between standing and sitting on the floor, known as seiza or floor-sitting transitions. There is something remarkable about aging in Japan. The average Japanese person over the age of 70 moves from standing to sitting on the floor and then back up more than 20 times a day. They sit on the floor to eat meals, drink tea, watch television, and talk with friends and family. Every time they move from standing to sitting on the floor and then stand up again, they perform a full-body movement that maintains strength, flexibility, and coordination in a way many gym exercises cannot replicate. The University of Tsukuba in Japan conducted a large study with 10,000 seniors, comparing those who regularly sat on the floor with those who only used chairs. The results were impressive. People who maintained the habit of sitting on the floor had 40% more lower body strength, 50% more hip flexibility, and were able to stand up from the floor without assistance even after the age of 90. But the most surprising part came from the cognitive tests. These participants also scored about 15% higher on mental function assessments. Researchers discovered that the movement of sitting on the floor and standing up again requires complex motor planning, activating the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for executive functions. To get down to the floor and stand up again safely, the brain must coordinate several abilities at the same time: movement planning, balance control, force modulation, and spatial awareness. All of these systems work simultaneously. In practice, it is like a full workout for the brain disguised as a simple daily activity. The traditional method begins from a standing position with the feet together. First you lower one knee toward the ground, then the other, sitting back on your heels in a kneeling position. From there, you can shift into different floor-sitting positions, such as sitting cross-legged or sitting to the side. To stand up, simply reverse the movement, bring one foot forward into a lunge position, push your body up using that leg, and then bring the other foot forward to stand again. It may seem simple, but this movement requires significant control, strength, and balance. To develop this ability safely, start with assisted transitions. Use a low bench or support as an intermediate step. Place your hands on this support while lowering yourself to kneel and then remove your hands once you are stable. Over the weeks, use less and less support from your hands until you can perform the movement on your own. At first, practice on a soft mat or yoga mat to reduce impact on the knees. Frequency is more important than perfection. Even 2 or 3 transitions per day already provide meaningful benefits. Japanese seniors do not see this as exercise. It is simply the way they live. They have maintained this movement pattern since childhood without letting it fade over time. For those who begin learning this habit later in life, patience is essential. It may take a few months for the movements to become smooth and natural. But the benefits are worth it. Studies show that the ability to stand up from the floor without using the hands is one of the strongest indicators of longevity. Brazilian researchers found that people who can perform this movement live, on average, 6 years longer than those who cannot. And now we arrive at the most anticipated moment. The king of all movements. Number 1. The towel twisting exercise, known in Japan as tenugui hibiki. This is the movement that made many researchers rethink everything they believed they knew about aging and exercise. It involves nothing more than a simple hand towel, but many Japanese centenarians say this habit is one of the main reasons for their vitality. The movement begins by holding a towel with both hands, arms extended in front of the body. From there, you perform a specific twisting motion that creates an isometric contraction throughout the body. But calling it simply a towel twist would be an oversimplification. This movement activates muscle fibers that remain inactive in about 99% of traditional exercises. When researchers from Taku University connected electrodes to participants performing tenugui hibiki, they observed something surprising. There was muscle activation in areas they did not even expect. The deep stabilizing muscles of the spine were activated, the small muscles of the feet also engaged, and even facial muscles showed increased activity. A study that drew the attention of the scientific community followed 15,000 Japanese seniors for 20 years. Those who practiced Tenugui Hibiki for just 2 minutes per day had an average life expectancy 7 years longer. Grip strength, which is considered one of the best indicators of longevity, remained above the level associated with independence until approximately 92 years of age. In addition, the bone density of these individuals was similar to that of people 20 years younger. Brain scans revealed something even more extraordinary. The bilateral coordination required to properly perform the towel twist activates both hemispheres of the brain at the same time, creating new neural connections between them. Participants showed improvements in memory, faster reaction times, and significantly lower rates of dementia. The technique begins by holding a rolled towel horizontally at shoulder height, with your hands about shoulder width apart. Next, you create tension by pulling the towel outward as if you were trying to tear it apart. Keeping that tension constant, slowly rotate your torso to the right while keeping your hips facing forward. The twist should come from the center of the body, the core, not from the arms. Hold the position for 3 seconds at the maximum point of the rotation, then slowly return to the center and repeat on the left side. Constant tension is the most important part. In practice, you are creating resistance against your own body, which forces all the stabilizing muscles to activate. Breathing is also essential. Inhale as you return to the center and exhale during the twist. This breathing pattern activates the vagus nerve, triggering a parasympathetic response that helps reduce inflammatory processes in the body. One of the great advantages of this movement is that it can be adapted to any fitness level. Beginners can perform small twists with little tension. More advanced individuals can create greater resistance and perform deeper rotations. Some Japanese seniors perform variations of this movement while sitting or even lying down, but the principles remain the same: create tension, maintain control, and synchronize breathing with movement. Molecular biology also helps explain why this movement is so powerful. Isometric contractions stimulate the release of myokines, special proteins that muscles release during contraction. These substances act almost like a natural medicine for the body, helping reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and even stimulate the growth of new brain cells. The towel twist produces more myokines per minute than many other movements that have been studied. The time of day also enhances the effects. Many Japanese seniors perform this exercise right after waking up and again before going to sleep. Practicing in the morning helps activate the nervous system for the day. The evening session supports the body's recovery and improves sleep quality. Just 1 minute in the morning and 1 minute at night is enough to obtain all the benefits. No special equipment is required other than a simple towel. There is no need for a gym or complex routines. Even so, this simple practice can influence almost every system in your body more deeply than many hours of conventional exercise. In the end, the true revolution in understanding aging is not in new technologies or miracle supplements. It lies in recognizing the deep wisdom present in movements that Japanese seniors have quietly practiced for generations. They require no equipment, special clothing, or specific training schedule. They integrate naturally into daily routines, becoming as natural as breathing. Scientific research is clear and consistent. People who maintain these movement patterns age fundamentally differently from those who do not practice them. They preserve their independence. They are able to enjoy the final decades of life instead of merely enduring them. The choice is now in your hands. You can continue following traditional exercise models that treat aging as a disease to be fought. Or you can adopt these simple movements that view aging as a natural process that can be lived with balance, strength, and dignity. The Japanese have shown the path. Science has confirmed this approach. The only question that remains is, will you start today, or will you wait until tomorrow to transform the way you age? Now we want to hear from you. Which of these movements do you believe could help you the most at this moment in your life? And why? Have you ever tried any of these Japanese habits before? Did you notice any difference in your balance, strength, or mobility? Share your experiences and opinions in the comments. We truly enjoy reading every story. Thank you for watching and see you next time.